Giannis is a special kind of talent, you know, not only offensively but defensively. He can be the best at both ends of the floor. And then he has that rare combination of not just physical talent and skill, but also the determination and the will, and has a work ethic to go along with it. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
I'm denouncing my Supermanship and I'm giving it to the Greek Freak.
He can wear the, can wear the S?
It's him.
He can wear the S?
Yes, it's him now.
Who's the most dominant player in the paint, you or him?
Him.
You or no, you're not.
No, him.
No way.
Kenny, it's his era.
The legends have spoken. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the type of freak that you should not be messing with, because this dude is a bad, bad man. I mean, you can see the Bradley Beal is trying to get into a fight with Giannis right here. And, that's not a good thing, because
a few moments later.
Because the defense is going to change, and I'm going to have more opportunity. For now,
Giannis on the break to the rim!
Trash talking Giannis just isn't a great idea, but some players like Beal still trying to poke the Greek Freak for some reason, and in the end, they get owned pretty badly by the two-time MVP for it. Anyway, here's what happens when trash talking Giannis Antetokounmpo goes terribly wrong. To start off, let's rewind a bit and talk about the case of James Harden. After winning the MVP in 2018, James Harden felt like he still deserved to win the MVP the following year. However, that didn't happen because Giannis took home the trophy in 2019. See, Harden was really bitter about the whole MVP thing, and Giannis knew about this. So during the 2020 All-Star Draft, Giannis decided to have a bit of fun with the beard. When the draft was only down to 3 players, the TNT crew was egging Giannis to pick Harden, but instead, he picked Kemba Walker. And when Charles Barkley asked, "You don't want a dribbler?" Giannis was like,
I want somebody that's going to pass the ball. That's what I want.
Well, everyone in the studio had a pretty good laugh at Giannis's gentle sideswipe. James Harden, meanwhile, was, let's just say, pretty pissed about it. Apparently, that joke didn't sit well with the beard, and in an interview, he clapped back at Giannis by saying,
I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I got to actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, you know?
The trash talking between the two had been going back and forth for some time at this point, and eventually, they had to settle this on the court to finally shut down the beef, once and for all. And when both teams finally met, let's just say that the Greek Freak took things personally.
Okay, Harden's off the floor. This is a great opportunity for the Rockets to even extend their lead.
He's going to have to shoot it. He's going to have a lot of chances.
I mean, he almost had a triple-double that night to put Harden in his place. And if you're gonna ask me, that kind of stat line looks like more than just skills to me. Anyway, moving on here. So, you see, trash-talking the Greek Freak is never a good idea, and it appears that our next guy right here didn't get the memo about that.
Hazonia drives it, Middleton finishes, and then stares and walks.
I mean, sure, the dunk was nice and all that, but wait. Did this dude just walk over Giannis like he was AI? And Giannis was Ty Lue?
Oh! Now you up! Now you up! Now you up!
Well, Giannis isn't the type of guy who'll let this type of thing go. So a few moments later...
You wonder how Coach Fizdale felt about the step over. Hey now.
Now, to his credit, Hazonia actually did the smart thing right there by just walking away to avoid further humiliation. And after that, it seemed that Giannis was just getting started.
And then Giannis finishing inside.
Once again, Giannis had another monster game after getting walked over by Hazonia. And even though the Knicks escaped with the win that night, I'm 100% sure that he began avoiding walking the same path as Giannis ever since that very day. Well, speaking of the Knicks, Giannis had an unforgettable game against New York back when he was still a rookie. I mean, Giannis got his first start in the NBA versus New York. He got a pair of fouls in less than 6 minutes, and this was also the first time that he got fouled out. And to make things worse, the Bucks lost to the Knicks that night in double OT. But on top of all this bad stuff, Giannis said that Carmelo's wild trash talking was the main reason why he couldn't forget this game. I mean, just take a listen to what he said during the postgame.
It was Carmelo. I don't know. I respect him. He's one of the best players, so but he can like come out and start bullying, bullying my teammates, me, talk to me all the time, saying stuff. So I try to not react, talk to him back, because you have to respect him. But if you do it all night, you can focus on your game. So you have to respond and tell him something to stop.
Well, it appears that Melo bullied the wrong guy, because a few years later, Giannis just went from an unknown skinny kid out of Greece to a full-fledged Greek freak in no time.
Antetokounmpo, he's got Parker with him. Whoa, he jammed.
And even though he already changed jerseys and zip codes, it seemed like Giannis was out for blood every time he met Melo on the court.
Very physical. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's just brutal. Anyway, guys, some players out there are just really trying their best to get into the head of Giannis, just like this guy right here.
Patrick Reed, not afraid of the moment.
I mean, he had some words and even stared daggers at him. But on the other hand, Giannis just shrugged all that and was like... So after blocking his shot, we all knew that Giannis was going to get him one way or another. And when the fourth quarter came by, the Greek freak finally returned the favor.
His trophy case is full of this. You got the block shot at one end.
Now, then again, I still give big kudos to Paul Reed, because he really did his best to get under Giannis' skin. But actually, that's nothing if you compare it to what Rudy Gobert did. In an interview, Gobert revealed that he really studied Greek just to level up his trash-talking game against Giannis.
I tried to learn some bad words in Greek.
What words did you learn?
Maraka.
Which is?
I don't want to say it. It's not,
you just said it in Greek.
Good. And then there's a way to say like you off or like you're gonna miss. I think it's exo. So when every free throws, I was like exo.
Well, as it turned out, Giannis was barely affected by a Frenchman saying cuss words in Greek. I mean, perhaps his pronunciation was wrong or his dictation was a bit off. You know, stuff like that. Now, in response, Giannis just let Gobert know that he still has a lot of catching up to do by zipping him up in a body bag time and time again.
And Middleton each scored 20 or more. 17 against Utah. 116-96. Yes!
Anyway, guys, just like Gobert, Jimmy Butler also tried trash-talking Giannis on multiple occasions. And here's one of them.
Jimmy Butler's got 28.
Now, if you remember, this took place inside the bubble where Miami had dominated the Bucks and put clamps on Giannis to boot them out of the playoffs in just 5 games. In the following year's playoff, though, the tables turned, and it seemed that Giannis had built a personal vendetta against Butler over the stuff he had said to him the year prior.
This particular series and this playoff drive
already. TREESE is 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. Antetokounmpo takes.
The Bucks swept the Heat in that series, and even though he already got his revenge, Giannis continued to keep Butler in his sights for easy pickings.
Nice job, Giannis!
Man, this just shows that if you mess with a Greek freak, you better keep your head on a swivel, because you'll never know when Giannis is gonna knock and collect the receipt. Now, aside from Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis was also another player who talked a lot of trash to Giannis, especially during the time when he was just starting in the league. In his personal blog, he lists AD along with Melo and Marcin Gortat as one of the most notorious trash talkers that he faced back then, and he even shared one encounter when he got pretty annoyed with AD's loud mouth. He was trying to post me and I was using all of my strength. I didn't let him. He turns around, shoots off balance, and scores. As we were running side by side, he says to me, as we were running together toward the Bucks offense, I processed it and think about it. Dude, what are you talking about? You're only a year older than me. Just to give some context, AD was drafted in 2012 while Giannis got drafted a year later. Both of them were evolving unicorns back then, and I think AD was just messing with him because he knew that Giannis was his closest competition at that time. Though AD was a bit better than Giannis at that point, Giannis was just one step behind him, and as the years went by, he started to become his equal, and eventually, he got his revenge as he surpassed him when he transformed into a Greek freak.
Antetokounmpo going strong.
Thrilled with the way Davis has played since his return from the knee injury. Antetokounmpo scraping at the ball.
Anyway, guys, what's your favorite Giannis moment? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of trash talking gone wrong, want to find out about what happens when people try trash talking Joel Embiid? Well, if you want to know, we got that video right here. Go ahead, click it. It's free.